Leaf fall was almost over in the valley. The rich red and orange colors of the trees had begun to fade as the last of the leaves released their grip and fell to the forest floor, to be swept away by a bitterly cold wind that had begun to push its way into even the warmest nest in the land. Soon, Leaf Bear would be here, and soon the survival of the clans themselves would be at odds with the cold weather and lack of prey. Tensions were running high between Moss Clan and Branch Clan as the two groups met along their newly established borders. There must be some place we can meet and discuss things without incidents. Lionstar sighed, glancing over his shoulder at Honeywish, who was nursing a cut on her ear after her latest border dispute with Quail-Eye of Branch Clan. If your warriors were not so ill-disciplined and hot-headed, then we could have a civil discussion on your land with no problems. Branchstar hissed quietly, his voice icy. I don't see you offering up a meeting place on your land, Honeywish hissed back, her fur bristling. Lionstar paused, then turned to Branchstar with a firm nod, supporting his deputy. It doesn't need to be all the time, I think, Otterslip murmured, her voice gentle. She had old friends in Moss Clan. They almost all did. What about if we just start meeting during the full moon? It would be nice to be able to meet with everyone without being accused of praise stealing. Branchstar glanced at her and nodded, then turned back to Lionstar with a thoughtful look. Leaf Bear is coming, and it is a dangerous time for cats not to be well informed of what is happening in all the territories. We should meet at High Boulder, near the fields of the farm. That is far enough away from all of our land. We can discuss matters there. He turned his head slightly, his eyes glinting in the moonlight. After all, I suppose you will want to hear about the wolves. Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Sims 3 Warrior Cats Challenge, and we're here! So it is our first official gathering. As you guys know, every full moon in the Warrior Cats series, the cats will have a gathering where they will go to a neutral place that doesn't belong to any of the different clans, and they will meet together in order to just kind of exchange gossip and figure out how the other clans are going, celebrate as an entire group when apprentices are made into warriors, or the birth of new kits into other clans. And it's really amazing, and we did not yet have a place where we could have our gatherings, and so here we are. Behold, this is High Boulder. So this is the High Boulder place, and it is a brand new area that has just been constructed, but as far as the cats are concerned, it's been around for quite a long time. But yeah, it's a brand new area that is over by the farm. So if you want to know like where this is situated in the world to try to keep everything sort of organized, we have the farm right over here. So this is the farm where many of the cats have come from. They all kind of remember their origins from the farm fields, and eventually I want to try to figure out how to use world edit so I can add in all of these spawners and add in all of these places where the cats will be able to go hunting and be able to relax. So I need to figure out how to be able to do that over here. But here's the farm, and then over here is the junkyard dog area, and then up here is the waterfall where the cats who are medicine cats will have to go to speak to Star Clan, and where the warriors need to make their pilgrimage at least once after they become warriors, and where all of the leaders will go to receive their 9 lives. So here's the Whisper of the Stars Falls, and then way over here is where High Boulder is, and up this path leads the way to Moss Clan, and down this path leads the way over to Branch Clan. Don't worry, there's not really a building there. It just likes to pretend that there is a building there for some reason. So there's Branch Clan. Oh, can we see Wild Kit? Oh, it's Stone Kit. He's playing in the training field. Oh, that's adorable. All right, but yeah, so that's where the whole layout is, and here we go. So I'm kind of nervous. This is the very first gathering we have ever had, and how we made it work is that I merged the two clans together, just a few representatives from each group. So we have 8 cats here with us today. We have Lionstar and Branchstar leading the Moss Clan and Branch Clan respectively. We have their medicine cats. Here's Dogaze. Branchstar and Dogaze are kind of catching up with each other. Over here's Bearglow. We've also brought Sea Whisper. So Sea Whisper, kind of the young, spunky, hyper member of Branch Clan. And we've brought Squirrel Leap, who is the young, spunky, hyper member of Moss Clan, so that they can meet. And we've also have Otterslip over here and Honeywish. And so Honeywish, as deputy to Moss Clan, has also come. But, whoop, don't mind that. That's just the cats coming in. Oh, and it looks like Lion Star is over here to sniff Sea Whisper. But we did not bring Quail Eye. And the reason we left Quail Eye is actually because Branch Star wants Quail Eye to be protecting the queens that they left back at home. Oh, and Honeywish just tried to interact with Otterslip and was denied. And Squirrelleap just attacked Branch. Well, she's pouncing Branch Star. Squirrelleap, that really may be like biting off more than you can chew there. I don't know how that's going to end. I think that Sea Whisper is going to have issue. I think she's going to go ahead and pounce Squirrelleap. Be like, hey, what are you doing with my clan leader? You can't just go and do that. Whoops. And don't mind these Sims. They're just trying to sneak in here. Don't mind them. We'll make that work. We'll make that work. Oh, gosh. All right. So let's see. What is Lion Star up to? He's off to go scratch things. Dogaze is actually stalking for prey. And what we're going to do is this is just kind of the time where we're going to let the cats sort of interact together. And we'll figure out what they think of one another. So Branch Star's coming over here. Oh, and I probably should show you what High Boulder area looks like. So this is the High Boulder right here, you guys. And I originally put these pieces right here, these cat trees right here, so that the different leaders would be able to jump onto this part of High Boulder and kind of be able to talk about what they wanted, give news about the clans. And it's a little bit hard though, because the cats cannot survey. They can only scratch. They can't survey on the cat trees when they are not on their lot. So phooey. But this is where they can gather together and kind of exchange information, kind of get to know each other. And we're definitely going to have them work on that. I really love how beautiful this little meeting area has become. Let's see if we can set these cats up to be able to chit-chat with each other. Oh, what's this? Hang on now. Squirrelleap wants to become best friends with Dogaze. That's adorable. All right. Well, let's go ahead. I'm going to let these two socialize. Probably sniff and maybe socialize a little bit. Because I think Squirrelleap really bit off more than she should have chewed, tackling Branch Star like that. And meanwhile, Otterslip and Honeywish were having words. So this is just interesting to throw all the cats together on the lot and see what they're going to do. So there's Branch Star. I really like how he's up there. And where's Lion Star? And all of the other cats who aren't here, who are in Moss Clan, are actually just like staying at home tonight. Because there's a few kits and queens. All right, Lion Star, I think you need to come over here. Why don't you try scratching this? All right, and Dogaze and Honeywish are definitely getting along wonderfully in the corner there. And we definitely need to have Bear Glow. Oh, Honeywish wants to chase him. This is interesting, just letting everybody kind of interact like this. And Otterslip is taking the time to try to do a little bit of stalking. See what's going on over here. Oh, that's so cool. It really looks like Lionwish is scratching things. All right, what's going on over here? Oh, Bear Glow. He's not very happy with Honeywish. So yeah, we're just going to kind of keep an eye out. And you guys, your attention is really needed to make sure we can figure out who is going to maybe have an alliance with who's sneaking off for maybe some interclan friendships or romances at this time. It's going to be pretty interesting just to keep an eye on everybody. All right, so how is Dogaze? Dogaze actually needs to come over. Oh, look at that. And Dogaze wants to be best friends with Squirrelleap. That's so cute. Let's have Dogaze come over. She needs to come and meet the new medicine cat, though. So let's see if we can have him come over here. Yeah, and he wants to actually sniff Dogaze. So Bear Glow, the medicine cat of Branch Clan, is actually curious about Dogaze. So Dogaze, where have you gone, my dear? You need to come over here. Oh, and Otterslip just caught a pygmy hedgehog. That is so cool. Good job, Otterslip. Maybe you should go report to your, let's see, Sniff Night Frost, Sniff Trout Shadow. Oh, and that's the other thing, you guys. As the cats will come together for gatherings, and we'll make it a little more organized. It's a little bit like, whoa, because we're having our first gathering. But as the cats come together for their gatherings, where's Branch Star? I'm going to have him come over, socialize with Otterslip over here because she just caught some prey. But as the cats come together as clans for these gatherings, we are also going to have some of the farm cats because they're actually pretty close. The farm is just right over here. And we're going to have some of the farm cats occasionally visit and share news. So you may have heard the news. Then we'll actually have to have Branch Star and Lion Star kind of talk so that they can exchange news about this. And he wants to sniff Lion Star anyway. But you may have heard the news that Branch Star was alluding to wolves in the territories. And yes, he was talking about wolves in the territories because they have scented wolves. All right, so apparently that's making him happy. And sniff otter slip, sniff honeywish. You can't sniff fire kit. You can sniff squirrel leap though. All right, so it's interesting seeing what the different cats want to do. So let's see, Lion Star, or yay, Lion Star just gained the non-destructive trait. Well, that's interesting. And we should probably have the 2 clan leaders. Let's see, and he wants to sniff his medicine clan. Let's see, curious about the kits, curious about Branch Stalk, who's staying at home to guard the queens and the kits. All right, so yeah, we're gonna let everybody interact and kind of get to know each other. Friendly, socialize. There we go. Come here, Branch Star. All right, go ahead and sniff Lion Wish. Lion Wish, you're adorable. He's just a big, fluffy, adorable thing. But yeah, in the future, farm cats will come by and visit and share news. Kind of like we need to have these 2. Branch Star needs to go ahead and share the news. And I'm going to have to figure out a way to make the light show up. Sorry, guys. It really is kind of just like getting used to everything for our very first clan meeting. Nope, stay here, Squirrel Leap. Squirrel Leap wants to sniff Bear Glow, so we'll let her do that. So she's curious about Bear Glow, the medicine cat. But yeah, Branch Star and Lion Star actually need to exchange a little bit of information. They kind of need to talk to one another. Because Branch Star, he's not the kind of cat who's going to withhold knowledge of wolves being in the area. And wolves have been showing up at the ruins quite a bit. So he's going to want to talk about that a little bit. And let's see, Sniff Briarstock. Let's see, she's still, who's this? It's Branch Star. All right, Squirrel Leap, what do you want to do? Squirrel Leap is curious about Silver Fang, Marie, and Fern Creek. Fern Creek's actually in your group, so you can pay attention to Fern Creek. All right, Sea Whisper is sound asleep. So we'll probably have the gathering break up pretty soon. But we're going to let the 2 leaders just kind of talk for a minute. And this will slowly but surely strengthen relations between the clans. And it could also start a lot of enemy issues. Because if you guys remember, Fern Creek really does not get along well with Honeywish. And they did that on their own. And somebody's fighting something. Is it just prey? Is that Dogaze? I think that's Dogaze. And we definitely would have Bear Glow coming over to talk to Dogaze and maybe figure out when the time should come where the medicine cats should meet. Oh, and it looks like these 2 have descended into wrestling with each other. Oh, and it's like Lion Star pounced on Branch Star first. I don't think that's going to go well. And in fact, I think that would make Branch Star want to hiss at him. And I think that'll be the end of the meeting, more or less, because he doesn't take well to being hissed at. But it looks like everybody else had a good chance to meet. So Sea Whisper is getting a chance to meet with Honeywish. And we'll figure out, if you guys have some ideas, maybe we should make a list of like which cats might possibly interact more so than other cats. And so in the future, when we come back, we will try to make it so that certain cats will be able to meet with one another. And I'll make it so that the lights stay on so we can actually see what's going on during each gathering. But for the most part, it's going to be just this messy, chaotic meeting where we get a bunch of cats together, and the medicine cats have just a brief chance to say maybe hello, and the other cats have a chance to say hello, and we'll just see, like, we'll make note. I know what we'll do. We'll make note of what cats really want to talk to cats from other clans. Like, if Briarstock really desperately wanted to talk to Quail Life, for example, we'll make a note about that. And then when the gathering happens, we will make sure that happens, even if they no longer have the want for it. So keep an eye out for those kinds of things, you guys. But otherwise, I think that this meeting is over, and we are going to send the Branch Clan cats back home. And I will see you guys back at Moss Clan in just a moment here. Oop. All right, and welcome back. I guess these 2 are pretty happy. But yeah, we are back at Moss Clan now. Dogaze and Squirrel Leap are catching up over by the medicine den, just kind of talking about what's been going on, how the meeting went. That was a chaotic meeting, so I apologize if it was kind of disorganized. It was our very first gathering, but it went pretty well. So we will be having gatherings like that in the future. Ooh, and it looks like Lion Star is deciding that he needs to practice his hunting skills. Oh, and he wants to be best friends with Honeywish. Honeywish, where are you? Honeywish. That's good news, Honey Wish. He wants to be best friends with you. And she actually wants to be best friends with the Lion Star too. So let's go ahead and wake her up, because she also wants to catch a fish. So that was really cool. So basically we will just start making notes, because I realized when we got there, I wasn't really sure what to do with the cats at first. That just kind of let them interact with each other. Definitely worked out very well. But we'll be taking notes on which cats kind of want to talk to cats from other clans or cats from the farm pretty regularly. And then we will try to make that happen. And I think right now Honey Wish is actually wanting to catch a fish, because she heard from Otterslip and the others how good the fishing is over at Branch Clan. So she's going to try catching a fish right now. And then maybe we can brag to Lion Star about it, because that would be pretty cool. I think Lion Star decided he wanted to practice his hunting because he wants to work on becoming a better hunter and provide for the clan. Oh, sweet. We just caught a koi. Good job, Honey Wish. That is excellent. So she just caught a Kagawamonori koi. Oh, okay, let's try this again. Kawari Mono koi. There we go. So that's pretty cool. And it's a great quality too. You know what? Let's have her go present it to Lion Star. Just like as a way of being like, look what I caught. All right, that should be pretty cool. All right, Lion Star, you stop practicing the hunting for a second. I think it's really interesting how he wanted to start practicing hunting after he met up with the other clan. So I think he's a little bit worried about how the prey is running, and we really should be worried. There's just 2 days until Leaf Bear, and that's going to be pretty dangerous. And we need to make sure that the clan has plenty of food. So Honey Wish showing off her new skills is definitely fantastic. All right, sweet. And they're going to nuzzle. That's so sweet. Yay. All right, we'll put that in his inventory for a second so no cat eats it just right away. Aw, there you go, you guys. You know, that's kind of the whole point of it right here, you guys. Honey Wish is kind of biting back the pain at knowing that Lion Star has fallen in love with a different cat. And she is putting forth her loyalty to her clan and showing that she can use the skills that she just learned from the gathering to help the clan out. So that is really awesome. Good job, Honey Wish. Because above all, that's kind of what the gatherings also help to do, reinforce which cats are really loyal to what clan. So we're going to put the fish in there, and there's really not a lot of food, so we need to work on that. He wants to sniff Honey Wish too. All right, we'll go ahead and let you sniff. Oh no, you don't want to be friends with her anymore? Why? Why? Oh dear. Well, he had the want for a brief moment. And then his interest waned again. Lion Star, why do you have to be so fickle when it comes to paying attention to your dear friend, huh? All right, well, we're going to go ahead. I think he's going to stalk for prey because he's kind of feeling it. And we'll let her go ahead and stalk for prey too. A late night hunting mission before everybody else wakes up and is hungry for the morning is just fine. Speaking of which, Fern Creek's snoozing. We're going to have to see if Fern Creek turns into a pretty strong warrior or not. She definitely doesn't seem interested in having any kits just yet. And Crowfeather is sleeping, but I think that he would wake up really excited and want to find out what happened at the gathering and talk to the other cats. All right, looks like Squirreleap is coming over to eat that koi fish. Dogaze is going off to bed, but Dogaze in particular is going to be very worried. We are very, very, very close. She wants to hiss at Willow. I think that's her stress showing because we're so close to Leaf Bear. So what we're probably going to end up doing with the Moss Clan next is we're going to be working on gathering up as many of these flowers as we possibly can, and using them in trade to Willow for hopefully a lot of useful herbs and plants. And we really didn't have that great an opportunity to work with Willow on just collecting a whole bunch of the things that she's growing. So this may be kind of tricky. This may be very tricky. And we may need Mossleaf to be able to present her with some flowers so Willow can go down. And if Mossleaf, as the spirit cat, is best friends with the spirit of the land, then all we have to do is just give her the flower, and then we can send Willow down here, and Willow can come on down and she can collect some of the things that are growing in the odd herb place. This is the odd herb two-leg place that the cats just call odd herb place, like herb Herb. And then we can send Willow down here and she can collect the lavender or the peppermint. There's green leaf, which would be fantastic to use if the cats get colds. And we are going to start adding in diseases that they can catch. The sweetgrass, which is probably really good. I'm not even sure what we're going to use it for. just yet. Wolf's Bane, really great for nasty bites, especially against from dogs. Truffles, mushrooms that we could probably use to help with stomach aches and things like that. Oh, and then see, here is where the clan's interests are going to start to overlap, where we have rocks and gems and things like that showing up on our territory, like over here. I'm pretty sure Slate would love to eat these things, but how are the cats gonna get them? So we'll probably have border disputes and fights break out between some of the cats who might be sent. Lionstar just got a plasma bug. Oh my gosh. Lionstar, that's big news. That's big news. That's like a really huge big deal. Okay, that's fantastic. These cats are so good at catching plasma bugs. It's not going to fill any tummies, but it's going to be really good at keeping a cat alive. So we'll have to give that to Dogaze later. Honeywish, are you catching anything? I think she's too tired. I think we'll go ahead and let her sleep, actually. Yeah, she's just trying so hard to go to sleep. And I think Lionstar is just agitated because he's like, oh, you know, the other clans, they're doing really good on hunting for fish. And yet we live in a very forested area, so I don't think fish hunting would be the immediate natural, like, idea of what they'd want to do. And I think Crowfeather's going to come out. And we're going to go ahead and have him come and work with Lionstar. Maybe train a little bit and then help do some hunting to start populating the area with food, populating the prey pile with food. But yeah, we need to have Mossleaf go ahead. She's been pretty exhausted just watching after her kits. Oh, and the kits have names now. So let me present to you guys. Little Oak Kit. So the big fluffy kit, kit number 1, is Oak Kit, and you can bet that the fact that the kits have turned out so green is going to be a major plot point. You're going to see a lot of chatter about that in Moss Clan, and that may or may not be another reason why the 2 kits aren't going to be showing up at gatherings for quite a while. And then we have a Lizard Kit. So we have Oak Kit, the bigger of the 2, and then we have a Lizard Kit. Oh my gosh, and Fern Creek, you're sleeping in the Medicine Cat's den. No wonder Dogaze wasn't able to sleep in her own bed. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and just to remind you guys, Oak Kit is an adventurous, independent male. Lizard Kit is a neat, lazy male. And for some reason, they're the same age. But for some reason, it's just getting... Oh, and Willow has just discovered a new moon. Let's call it the Gathering Moon, because we had the Gathering today. That's pretty cool. But for some reason, their ages are a little bit wonky, but don't worry, they are exactly the same age, and they're doing pretty good, and Mossleaf has been busy taking care of them. Oh, and she wants to nuzzle Lizard Kit, but she needs to get moving, and, like, Leaf Bear is coming, so we need to really start working on gathering up all of the plants. So I think we'll start having Willow come over and work on the plants with her. All right, and Lionstar is doing some good hunting. Let's see, Crowfeather's coming over. Let's see, he's gonna go use the restroom. Where's Branch Stalk? Branch Stalk is still too hungry. So I think we're gonna have Crowfeather, Lionstar, and Branch Stalk do a hunting patrol. And we will start doing hunting patrols. It is kind of early in the morning for one, but still, I think that they would need to. All right, and actually, let's have this. We need Friendly. I think he would socialize with Lionstar, and then, let's see, play, pounce, and then train with him. So Crowfeather's going to come over and talk to Lionstar. Branch Stalk's also very curious about what went on at the gathering, and he's going to want to hear about it. He also wants to catch a beetle, which is pretty cool. Sniff some of the other animals. And then Mossleaf, I think we're going to go ahead. Is she going to... Yeah, I can have her pee over here. We're going to have Mossleaf come over and gather up these flowers with Willow. So Willow, you need to come on over and gather up flowers. And then we should be able to trade the flowers for some herbs or some of the other plants that Willow has grown. And that's not as immediately useful as being able to get fish to feed the clan, but it does have its own uses. So Friendly. And we're going to go ahead and have her mark for this flower. And then these 2 are training in the background. Fern Creek is snoozing away. I'm not sure how Fern Creek is going to take being in the clan, so it's going to be fun to follow that. And then, let's see, Briarstalk is off to scratch at things. So yeah, all right. Now we've had our first gathering, you guys, and it is time, it is very much time, to be a little bit nervous about what is going to happen when it comes to how the cats are going to cope with Leaf Bear right around the corner. So let's go ahead and collect this Sweet William. So we're gonna pick this flower. It's on our property, so that makes it super easy. Oh, and she wants to go catch that little guy. And so then we ended up, by collecting that, we ended up with a rarity value 200 of a Sweet William. So I would say that we can probably give the cats like two cures worth of items that Willow might happen to have on her, or 2 very useful herb items that she might happen to have. In the future, that could be super useful because if we could give her flowers, she could potentially grow garlic, so we never really have to worry about fleas because she could just have a constant supply of garlic growing for the cats. Or she could potentially grow like life fruit and other things like that, super rare plants like that could keep the cats alive. But it's just very tricky because we are right at the edge of leaf bare. So what useful things could Willow possibly provide to the clan now? We're going to have to dig through everything, but we have 2 like healing amounts worth of things that she can provide to the clan. But do we even have the healing like pieces that we need? So we might send her down and let her go collect. In fact, we might gather up all of the flowers that are in the area next time, and then we'll send her down to the odd herb place, and we'll have to see what herbs and other things she can gather down here. Or even if we wanted to, we could start gathering these metal pieces, and we could start having her trade, the medicine cats trade the metal pieces, or the spirit cats even trade metals and flowers. So there's going to be a lot of interesting interactions between the clans coming up in the future, you guys. There's going to be the fun of watching as Oak Kit, who's running off to go scratch on something, and Lizard Kit, who's running off to go scratch on something too, grow into big strong cats, grow into themselves, see if Fern Creek decides that she actually wants to have more kits with her wonderful mate Briarstock, or if Briarstock's eyes are starting to wander because he's really settling into clan life and his mate isn't. So there's so much more coming up, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.